Hello, my tennis patients. Welcome back to part 2 of this video, the modern forehand, or is it? And in this phase of the swing, okay, we already talked about how the players store energy and they use the non-hitting hand to coil their body. Now we're going to look at the second part of the swing, the uncoiling phase. So right off the bat, right, we've got the players and they've coiled their upper body more than their legs, right? Because we're going to get that extra torque and coil. Their non-hitting hand is also at this point essentially parallel with the baseline, okay? Now, notice their legs. Their legs are also pretty much in the same position, and you're going to see, even though these videos are decades apart, that the forehand has changed a lot less than you think. So we're going to play this in slow motion, and we're going to see how both players get the racket drop, okay? And keep in mind, one of these is a wooden racket, one of these is graphite. They're both in the same position. The racket is in the slot, and they've pat the dog, and now they're leading with the butt cap. And what you're going to see in the next phase of the stroke is the legs will straighten out, the hips will straighten out, the shoulders will straighten out, and they will violently throw themselves forwards, and the racket will be the last thing to come through. So let's watch. Boom. Okay? Their body's coming around. And even, from the positioning of their shoulders to their contact point, and notice how the non-hitting hand also comes into the body, okay? Players often let this arm, dangle down to the side like it's lifeless, like it's dead. I like to say, keep it out because it helps with ball striking and balance. And what you can do is actually catch the racket and go hand to hand, because a surfer, right, on a surfboard isn't going to surf with one arm out. You know why? Because they're going to fall in the water and become shark food. They're going to eat waves. So pretend you're surfing in tennis, okay? Let's take this back. And you want to really keep out this arm and also keep it up when you pull it in, okay? Because you don't want to fall into the water. And in this instance, it would cause you to over-rotate and hit off balance. So that's a quick thing that can be fixed. But let's get back to the swing here. Okay. Boom. Right there. And notice how they both cover the ball with the windshield wiper finish, okay? And they even finish in the same spot. Maybe that's just a coincidence of this clip, but the swing has changed a lot less than you think. And even here, Bjorn Borg does not have a high finish over the shoulder. He covers the ball with the windshield wiper, and he swings through the ball and he covers it. He doesn't just scrape up and finish over his shoulder. Okay, same thing as Federer. Obviously, we know that he does this. Okay, let's watch that again. Super slow-mo. See if I can get this even slower. But it's incredible how it's not as modern as you think. I'm not as much of a next-gen coach as people say. Modern tennis is just, it's the same game with nicer clothes, nicer rackets, younger players, maybe better athletes, but it's changed a lot less than we think. Now, we're also going to look at Andre Agassi. So here's a video of Agassi, and we're going to get right to the uncoiling phase of the swing. And we're going to see that just like the other two players that we compared, that he does the exact same thing in the uncoiling phase. So we're going to go, okay, and from here, the left arm is parallel with the baseline, the non-hitting hand. He's going to pull it into his body. We're going to see the legs, the hips, and the shoulders uncoil, and the racket will be the last thing to come through. Boom. Okay. His legs have straightened out, and he's brought his hips forward and his shoulders forward. And at contact point, we're going to see him cover the ball. It may be hard. It's not the best video, but we also have this common thread. This is a better angle for me to explain it. The wrist is back at contact point when we get into the slot, but it makes a straight line with the racket because after you hit, you need to relax that wrist. Okay, that's a topic for another video, but we're going to see how he covers the ball. Boom, and finishes clearly below the shoulder. Okay, covering the ball, finishing below the shoulder, uncoiling the entire body and having the racket come along for the ride and finish as the last moving part of the swing. Excellent. And finishing on the front foot. Andre Agassi, Roger Federer, and Bjorn Borg definitely check all the boxes. And just for some clarification, I'm going to show you my forehand now, just to show you that I actually know what I'm talking about. Okay, guys, I'm going to hold myself accountable and show you guys my forehand, okay? Now, I'm definitely not a pro or at the level of the other players in this video, but, you know, I'm a pretty high-level player, and I do know what I'm talking about. I hit a pretty nice forehand, in my opinion, and I'm going to show you how what people would consider, you know, Gen Z, modern tennis player, how I do the exact same thing, and how the swing has not changed over really any time over the decades. So, boom, let's start in the uncoiling phase. Let's slow this down. Beautiful heel to toe. I'm just going to point that out. Okay, that's what you should be doing on the open stance forehand when you're running wide. Okay, I pat the dog. I get the racket into the slot, and I uncoil my body, and now the butt cap is going through the ball, but I've violently, you know, straightened out and turned my body into the swing, and the racket is the last thing to come through. And at contact point, okay, our main focus here is covering the ball and finishing below the shoulder. Okay, let's watch that again. Boom. Do you see how my wrist was relaxed? The wrist was back like a letter L in a 90-degree angle, and then after I hit, we got to relax that wrist, okay, because we don't want to scrape the ball. It's gone, so you can just chill and finish below the shoulder, okay? And we can just watch a few more just for some clarity, okay? Let's see here. Boom. This is a much better angle. Okay. The racket's in pat the dog. And you're going to see all of this is going to unload and straighten out. Boom. That puts the racket into the slot. And my legs are basically straight. And yeah, at contact point, I've completely uncoiled. I'm almost up in the air. I didn't really jump on this one. I'm kind of just pivoting. I don't usually jump, only sometimes. And yeah, we cover the ball. Boom. Wow. It doesn't get any more textbook than that. Okay. I check the boxes, at least in these shots. And yeah, so this is proof that the forehand is not as modern as you think. I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned something, and please like and subscribe for more educational tennis videos. Ciao.